click this. How's it going, man? How are you?
Great, how are you?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well. Deck Doctor round two, huh?
Yes.
All right. So this is the Tokoyami deck to beat, huh?
Hopefully
This is
not.
this is the one, right? This is
Hopefully it's the one to lose
the
to.
Tokoyami. He's gonna squeak in top 16 at ninth place,
Whoa.
and everybody's gonna love it, and it's gonna be sick.
What do
Like,
you mean
oh,
squeak in?
the birds, the word. You're gonna find four Nomus in a row, and you're gonna cry. You're gonna beat
Oh,
three of
okay.
them,
Yeah. Worried about the Nomos, not gonna lie.
All right, dude.
I'm not.
So hit me with the elevator pitch. I've seen this deck a lot. I've seen this deck in action. I've seen it fight against me. I don't know honestly how much cleanup that I'm gonna do, but you're just gonna pitch me on the deck, and I'm gonna see what I can say about it. Okay.
Yeah, so I want this deck to be super consistent, especially game one.
Okay.
And just find like every piece that's important, mostly the Summon Dark Shadow. I can win games without Ruin, actually, but I cannot win games without Summon Dark Shadow.
Okay.
So that's why I keep it to a tight 50. Um, and I want it to be a little more defensive to play the slower game and be able to like sculpt my hand and then go for like a one shot.
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't try to turn two unless they have like 20 health. Uh,
Okay.
like for most beefier characters, I will try to either chip them out or just save up everything and like build 10 foundations and play defense.
Man, you're there's so with a deck like this, it's really hard to find fault in it because man, you have so many sick one-ofs, right? Let's look at the quantity. You have one, two, three, four,
Yeah.
five one-ofs, and they're not things that you would think as one-ofs. One calling for backup? One?
So that is just a
Right?
consistency piece and like a spam.
Yeah, I know. I
Um,
I agree.
yeah.
It's tough for me to be like, yo, throw in four calling for backups because there's a reason that like you have looked past and been like, yo, toss toss this down to a one of, right? Nervous
Mhm.
habit at a one of in danger. That card sucks. Why is it in here? Is it just to be a mid block?
It's just for spam because I want 8 spam. I mean, I'm playing Keen Observation, which sucks more. It's
Right.
literally blank in my deck, but
Yeah.
it's a 2 high block.
Right. I was saying like,
Um,
why not a fourth keen instead of the in danger? How often do you
yeah.
trigger in danger? What do your
Um,
block zones look
I've
like?
triggered
It's a
it
good question.
maybe like 1 out of 100 games.
Okay, yeah. So I
You
would
know?
like maybe switch out the keen for the in danger just to fix
Yeah.
your blocks because you'll never block with in danger. Like the only time that you ever want to block with in danger is when Shigaraki gets cute and plays his you only
Exactly.
block this with the 3+, and you're like, haha, gotcha. Because I don't
Yeah.
actually know what you do. Oh, you have your one card
Plus ultra for
distraction,
that.
obviously. Oh, you have plus ultra, obviously. Duh. Yeah, duh. Um, attack wise, have you tried anything that's not these, as opposed to like signature right swing? Have you tried something that's like the kick that says you get speed off of it? Extend,
Extend.
reciprocal extend. So as opposed to discarding cards, you're just gaining your hand size.
Right. Um, I have played with the kick with like 4 extend just to see. And it is kind of nice, but one thing that I like about having all high and low attacks is that you get to overload a zone if for some reason they block signature right swing, which sometimes it comes out at like 7 damage, like it's not insignificant.
Right.
That's like one less high block they have
Yeah.
for the attack turn.
Okay.
Um, yeah, that and also discarding can be good sometimes. Like you can discard a summon Dark Shadow and cheat, because you get to pick it back up, or you can discard like let's say that you have a Frigid Heat Wave
Mm-hmm.
and you have like 5 ranged and like you don't want to be like or 4 ranged and you
Yeah.
have like an attack that you don't want to play. Like you have like 3 Ice Storm in hand, you can discard 1 Ice Storm just
Okay.
to make the count easier.
Okay.
It's not yeah, there's definitely pros though to extend.
Nitro Explosion Ignition is a Fury that just starts very fast. So it's a 6 high for 6 in your deck on a 4 diff. That feels like good stats,
Yeah.
but I think you'll just get more value out of Giant Ice Wall probably. It's also a high block, and you don't need mids. You don't need mid blocks.
Yeah, I just want everything to be to do a little bit more, like every attack to do a little bit more. Like
Than
it does
just
remove
stats.
itself. Yeah, it's
You
stats and
mean?
it removes itself,
Yeah.
but Crow and Frog gets to ready a foundation, and
Right.
it's like similar.
Okay. Um. Exploding Pride is like the only other card that I could maybe see of you wanting to play.
Exploding Pride. Yeah, I did have that in the sideboard at one time, but I just never brought it in.
Mm-hmm.
And like there are a lot of decks, like the decks I want to bring it in against are like decks where I just want to keep them off momentum in the first place.
Okay.
Like I don't want to I don't want them to have momentum. I want to play more defensively rather than like let them take it and then burn
Okay.
them for it.
Okay. That
But it
is
is decent.
okay. Yeah, I know. I know that card blows me out personally, so I'm happy that you're not playing
Exploding.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That and capture evil
Yeah.
doers, which you do have in your sideboard. Um,
Yeah.
I think attack lineup wise, I mean, you're telling me everything that like you want to hear. I don't think I'll be able to convince you to nor would I want to try to convince you, except for maybe like you could take Ice Storm down to a 3 of, but like, man, does that not feel great, huh? Like that Breaker 2 is super good.
It feels awesome, especially when you're going second and you get to hold an evil gaze and an ice storm and you say, okay, I'm gonna blow up one of your foundations and breaker to you.
Yeah,
Good luck killing me, and
yeah,
then I'm
yeah, yeah.
gonna untap.
Um, yeah, that would be that's all that I could maybe think of. Your low blocks are a little rough, so you could maybe sideboard. Is there a low block that's worth it at all under your symbols? We've got Talon, we've got Point Blank, we've got Frigid, Engine Rush, Corrosion Lunge, and that's it. I mean, if you absolutely wanted to, you could maybe take Ice Storm down to a 3 of and play like another 1 of like a Corrosion Lunge, or you could play a 1
Mm.
of a Engine Rush just to draw more cards if you wanted to. But I don't think that that's amazing. I think probably the Corrosion Lunge is the right play if you were to do that, just to shore up your low blocks a little bit, or maybe even just like another signature right swing if you wanted to be a little more aggressive game one. But you did say that your goal is to play defense, so I don't think that that's necessarily the right move.
Well, it is more aggressive game one because I end up siding out my consistency pieces for silver bullets lots of the time, like siding out a
Mm.
latent skill or a signature right swing.
Okay.
Um, but I could put the fourth arrogant disposition as a low block.
Okay.
I've considered that, and then but just punch decks have kind of fallen out of favor. And then signature right swing though, or I like corrosion lunge, engine rush, frigid heat wave, I guess, in the side. But I like keeping mostly ranged attacks as well
Yeah, because you are
to
only
get
at
trigger.
10 or 8 cards in your sideboard. You do have two more slots, right?
Yes.
And so like you could just play more attacks if you are not afraid of like these other pieces, right? Like I don't know, when are you siding in an extra fulfilled my duty? The answer is probably never. Um, like irrefutables,
Yes.
obviously we have two in the sideboard just because Kirishima exists, but like, I think Corrosion Lunge feels good versus Kirishima because they either block it and then your ruins actually ruin them, like it taps down everything, or like your giant
Hmm.
ice walls become gigantic ice walls. um, so like I think there's a lot of value in the lunge in the sideboard actually.
I like lunge, and you
Yeah.
know I've played it before.
Right.
The only thing is because I been trying to get frigid heat wave to trigger as
Mm-hmm.
consistently as possible.
Right.
Um, and it's really annoying to like check an attack with it and then it's not arranged, or to have like seven attacks, but two of them are furies. So,
Yeah. I guess that is
but I
fair. I
do
mean,
like the
you
card.
could just put in more frigid heat waves and just say YOLO, let it rock. It's more discard
That's
off the
true.
top. Like that is the answer that you could do. It's still a 5 high for 4, so it does not feel amazing blocking. It's a 5 high for 5, 6 high for 6 in your deck. That can only go up from there because of Summon Dark Shadow, and that's just off of 1.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and I mean, it usually, it's usually gonna hit one or two ranged.
Right. Hopefully.
for some more
Hopefully that's the
damage.
goal.
Hopefully, or high
Um,
roll. Just hit 3 every
yeah,
time.
every time. Yeah, I think that's maybe the only thing that I could see. This is my deck now, and so I get to put 2 of these in the side and just see what that looks like, right? Because this is now you have 3 or 2 here, 2 here, to put you 17 low blocks if you absolutely need them, right? Like I'm gonna see you
Yeah.
go up against a Sero and like not know what to do.
Oh, one thing about it though is that self-assured, can change the block zone.
Yeah,
And I use that a lot, especially with plus ultra. It's like tape, like dollar store tape.
yeah,
Um,
yeah.
except it also usually draws 2.
Dollar store tape is a very funny way to put it. Um, a foundation lineup. I don't think I can change your actions at all. I think 4 and 2 is perfect, and then you trade out the evil gazers for the capture evildoers or the plus ultras depending on what you need. I think that's perfect.
Right.
Yeah, I would maybe just take this in danger and change it to the keen observation, just because like you just don't need it this card. And I'd rather
Yeah, that
have
makes
the
sense.
off-zoned cards, and we want to block with Ice Storm anyways as our mid. Oh, still keep our 50. If we could squeak in, man.
I'm actually not super enthused with clever distraction. Like I've considered swapping it out. The
Clever
only thing is like I
distraction.
don't see that many punches. Like even in Kirishima, lots of them are running a ton of kicks.
Yeah.
Um, this
How's
kid's
your All
good.
Might 3 matchup? How do you feel about that? Because you like to hold a lot of cards as
Uh,
7-hander.
yeah, I actually do the opposite versus all my 3. I try to hold 2 max and dump them. If I
Okay.
hold more than that, I'll dump. Like what I'll try to do is leave Tokoyami untapped or readied, and then hold 2, and then block, and then pick up a Summon Dark Shadow, so that
Okay.
I have 2 max, but I get 3 effectively.
This card just helps you blow that character out because I mean he
Yeah,
is
that's true.
exclusively playing punches, and I think that he is going to see. I think we're going to see plenty of people playing him because a lot of people have access to that Judge promo now, or not Judge promo, the Plus Ultra promo. So like if you're not afraid of high blocks, right? Like if you're not afraid of high attacks, Clever Distraction does for the highs and lows, and this just like gives you an extra low block as opposed to making the lows like what highs or lows do you care about blocking?
Right.
And this getting more highs and lows also means that you don't get just mollywopped by raw tape swings because they're gonna
Right.
keep it mid, and you're gonna be like, I'll pick up Summon Dark Shadow and then stare at you. And so like maybe getting rid of this another 3 mid for the arrogant is might be the right call. The question is how much do you think that are you okay with just getting blown out by Shigaraki, who plays a bunch of corrosion lunges? Not corrosion lunge. Not turn to dust. Super disintegration grip is the official name of the card.
Not turn to dust.
It's the one that
What?
says you can't block through 3s are better.
Oh, touch of decay.
Touch of decay. Super mega bad touch. Are you okay with getting blown out to that card in game 1 if they just find it? Like, is that okay?
Yeah. I think versus Shigaraki, my like playstyle has evolved to try and aggro him
I
a
love
lot.
that.
But
So I'm gonna put this at a 6 of so that we can do or 4 of so that we can do that better because it's a 6 check.
yeah.
We keep our spam up and then I think that's good.
Dude, I know you like a nervous habit, and
I
cool
do love
student I
this
have
card.
is one of just because of I haven't wanted to see multiples, but it's been like outperforming with plus ultra because it's like the only thing that can affect your check with plus ultra.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I guess besides Summon Dark Shadow. Uh, yeah, I have those as one of though, just because I don't like seeing multiple.
Yeah, you don't need to see multiple. I think multiples of nerve habit is crazy, but only if you just draw hot with it, right? Otherwise, it just sits on your board and doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
Or if my opponent pushes into me really early with a greedy stun line, like nervous habit can punish them with that. Like this card on turn 2 versus stun decks feels really good. Otherwise, no, it doesn't feel that great.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, giving everything +1 speed whenever you have like 6 attacks in hand and 2 actions means that like you just win the game harder versus decks that like need that extra line. I was having this conversation with a local buddy who was like, "Yo, I don't like earphone jack," and I'm like, why not? And he goes, "There's nothing good to ready." And I'm like, that's not even like the good part about that card in our deck. It says that our 4-speed moves are now 5-speed moves, and so now your 1 low blocks you actually have to like commit a card to block with, right? The things that you really want to block with like are actually committing it down bonus cards. And I get mine for free because it's an asset, but like pay 1 health to like make this thing plus 1,000 speed is like it's just like a good exchange rate. So and the best part about Nervous Habit, right, is let's say like these cool one-ofs of cool student Nervous Habit, you easily can just side them out for the Irrefutable Forces and not feel bad because they are your 2/5 slots. They've got different blocks, but I mean having more low blocks versus Kirishima's chops are like good as well as turning off their stuff.
Would you disagree with? Well, so versus Kirishima, I like to side out latent skills if they are running Void because they play Nightwash, and
Sure.
it feels bad to discard 2 and
I
be like,
think
no.
if they are negating your Night Watch and not your actions don't count this turn, I think they're crazy. But I think that they are not that great at the game.
That's fair.
So take that as a blessing and be down to lose your 2 cards and just murder them with more stuff, especially with all the calling for backups you run. You know.
Does it? Yeah, a lot of times I'll side out at least 1 fulfilled my duty too, and I don't know if that's correct.
I think it really depends on if you're going first or second, right? I think if you're going first, I think fulfill my duty has a little less impact because like since you're playing as white, like you get to push the advantage. But if you have somebody who can accidentally backswing you like an Atsui, like a something like fulfill my duty, is somebody who can take back the tempo of the game very quickly. If you're fighting against a Tokoyami mirror match going first, I think that you still keep them in.
Oh yeah, I don't think I would ever remove it versus Tokoyami. That card hoses me.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. Yeah, man. I'm excited to see this list in the future.
Do you think I could ever? Is there ever a world where you would put in like more actions in the sideboard, like another plus ultra or evil gaze?
Over what?
Over the heat waves or something.
So what's the value of the cards, right? Like if we're gonna be fighting against, like, what's your goal versus Kirishima again?
Versus Kirishima, I like to try and get a momentum and then go for a blowout with Ice Wall at the beginning of the string.
Okay.
And just stunning like 5.
Okay. So then at that point, then yeah, we want to play Evil Gazes because that is coordinated effort hate and that just slows him down by 2 or 3 turns, right? Like getting rid of coordinated is like the way that we get to play to the long control game like we want to. And so Frigid Heat Wave isn't gonna do us very much there. I personally think that there's gonna be like a third of the field, literally every 3 rounds, expect to fight a Kirishima. Like as like a little mini boss to find your way up to the top cuts. And so like if your deck is not prepared or if you are not prepared to fight Kirishima at least twice, if not 3 times in your day with your main or sideboard, then you're gonna have a rough day. And so if Evil Gaze plus Ultra or Evil Gaze Capture Evildoers is better against that, maybe we cut the Frigid Heatwave down to like the 1 of and we put in another Evil Gaze. Right? Like maybe that's just the play.
Yeah, I do like the Kirishima matchup actually. I think it's slightly favored in this build. Not like insane. I think it's like 55-45.
For Tokoyami?
Just because I have so much hate. Yeah, for Tokoyami.
You're crazy.
I played it a lot. I like it.
I'm sure that you have, and I bet Damdul's Tokoyami list is probably 55-45. Right? But I could not imagine. I don't think that I could pick this deck up and go play 100 games to get 55.
It's very fun, like a matchup. Like it's super slow. It's like the antithesis of like normal Tokoyami.
Yeah.
But it's very fun.
I just get so damn bored fighting Kirishima. That's my issue. I just
bored. I just Nomo's the other deck I'm like really concerned about, and I considered slotting in Frozen in the sideboard for Nomo.
Man, is Frozen better than Giant Ice Wall? Question mark.
I don't know. I
I
think
don't
they're better
think so.
together, but yeah, I don't think it's not better by itself.
Yeah, I'd probably just stick with the Giant Ice Wall because you're for
Okay.
sure getting the momentum, right? Like for
Okay.
sure.
Yeah. Yep, that's all true.
Anything that you vehemently disagree with, man?
Nope, this all is pretty good. I think this helped me think out the fine tuning a
Yeah,
lot.
I think that's all that I could literally do. You've been working on this deck for since the inception of the My Hero card game. Uh, so this looks good, dude. Chat, screenshot this. This is the list that you're gonna want.
Nah. Don't,
Nah,
don't
chat. This
screenshot
is
it.
it. This is the list that you're gonna
I'm ch-
you're gonna have to
I'm
find.
actually registering with Kirishima,
Oh,
so
you are? Okay, that's good. That's good to know. Hey, you want to do that deck doctor real fast?
yeah.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Hey, man, thanks for the support over on Patreon. I really, really appreciate it. And
Well, thanks so much, Sam.
good luck this weekend. I hope to see you in Top Cuts, man.
Thank you, you too.
All right. Peace.